Hi, good afternoon if you're in Adelaide, and welcome to everyone else. Let us know where you're from. I am jumping on here to chat to Kim about product photography. Let me just ask her to join. There we go. Okay, I'll just give it a few minutes and Kim should be joining us shortly. Always takes a little bit of time once you jump onto a live to get someone connected. But if you are joining us today, please feel free to ask us any questions, and Kim is happy to answer any. If you're a product-based business, go ahead and ask her any questions. Hi, Kim. How are you doing?
Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Great. So I was just saying to everyone, I'm getting you on with me today to chat live about product photography, because you're a local photographer here in Adelaide. Do you want to tell everyone a little bit about your business and about yourself?
Sure. So I'm Kim, and if you can't tell from the accent, I'm originally from South Africa. I used to work in business consulting. I then became a jewelry buyer and then found photography. So I've done a couple of things, but I've been doing the photography for about 6 years now here in Adelaide. And I do sort of a variety of everything. So there's some products, some sort of lifestyle and headshot type stuff, and website work, even a bit of food photography. So I've sort of touched a couple of areas.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know, I'm also from South Africa, so we are in Adelaide. And straight after I studied fashion design and photography, I went to go work as a photographer. So I know I didn't do any product photography, I just did portrait photography for families. So yeah, that was fun. So I'm interested to find out more about product photography and what you actually do with the products. Did you work with any jewelry and do photography for jewelry?
Not with the people I work for. So when I was in jewelry, I was doing jewelry buying, but I have done photography for clients who sell jewelry online. I have
Cool.
done, yeah.
Awesome. Well, let us know your top tips for product photography. I'm sure because you did recently do a little webinar.
Yes.
I know the small biz girls. Yeah, so give us a little bit of tips for those ladies out there who have their own product and working from home and would like to up their game with their photos.
Yeah, well, I think the biggest tip, I mean, photography is all about the light. So the biggest tip is understanding your light and how to use it. So you'll often see most people will be shooting in natural light. I'd imagine if they're doing it from home, it's small business, and they'll look for the natural light. And you can often see, okay, they found the light, but then they haven't understood the direction the light is coming from and how to balance that out. So it's kind of like I always use my hand. So I'll put my hand in front of my face and I'll turn around in a circle and you'll see where the light hits your hand the most even. And then you know the sun's coming from the opposite direction. And then you position your product sort of in the middle and you have a whiteboard or something here just to bounce the light back. So it's evening that light out. So that's always my number one, is sort of understanding where your light's coming from and how to even the scene out, because that it does make a difference when you see a picture and there's this side is very harshly lit and almost overexposed, and then this side is very dark and shadowy. So unless that's the look you're going for, I mean, there are instances where that's the look you're going for, but I just find most people generally want that even lighting.
Yeah.
Another one is color, which is what I don't think a lot of people think about. And I know when I first got into photography, it wasn't something I thought about. I was like all about the aperture and the ISO and everything. But understanding color theory and how that impacts the scene that you're creating. So using a specific color can either highlight the colors of your product, or it can be overwhelming and distracting if you're using the wrong color.
That's so interesting. I'd never known that.
Oh yeah. No, I find it's not so much a problem if a product is bright and poppy and has lots of colors. So if you get there's people who sell earrings that have a lot of color. I mean, they can get away with using almost any color. But if you have someone who's got a product that's very muted, like a dusty pink or a very pale blue, and then they go and stick, say, a very vibrant red there, like that wouldn't. So if they had a blue, they'd go something like a dusty yellow to complement that, or a green or a brown. So it's just matching the colors in your setup that you're going to shoot.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to know.
Yeah. And then of course another one is that choosing props for if you are doing a flat lay, or if you're doing sort of a setup scene and something, just to not to overwhelm the frame with too many props when you are choosing props. I mean, you do kind of want to sort of have different levels and different textures, just to add that interest, to sort of guide a viewer into the product, but you don't want too many in that they're distracting. Essentially, you want to be able to see that the product is the focus. Yeah. So those are probably like my top 3 kind of tips around product photography.
So if let's say we have some earrings, what would you use as props with earrings? Let's just say, for instance, like these white ones. So it's quite plain. So what would you use as props to still get these to stand out?
So I would think with those ones, the first thing that comes to mind is sort of like a dressing table bedroom type setting. So you've got a mirror, there's maybe a glass, it's some sort of glass, like a glass bowl or a glass, and the earrings kind of hanging off of it. There's like a jewelry box in the background.
Yeah, I picture it.
Yeah, you can imagine that. Maybe like a nice, but very like, not the newer, like have a hairbrush there, but more of a vintage style hairbrush. So yeah, so very aesthetically pleasing. Yeah. Or then if you did it as a flat lay, maybe you've got the earring and some perfume, some flowers around it. So yeah.
Before you continue, I had a client the other day that actually did not know what flat lay was. So do you want to just explain, for maybe some people don't even understand what a flat lay is?
Yeah, sure. So flat lay is essentially when you lay your product down flat and position props around the product. So you are shooting from a bird's eye view. You're essentially looking down. So that's flat lay. And then there's another type of photography would be sort of a lifestyle scene. So where you've set up the bedroom scene, or a kitchen scene if it's food photography type thing. And the third type of product photography I'd say is the seamless, where you're shooting on a white, the pure white, traditional type of product photography, where it's just the product, it's pure white in the background. And that would normally be done with studio lighting. So those I think are the 3 types of product photography.
That's the backdrop. I had a question about these like white boxes you can buy if you have small products. Do you think it's worth buying one of those little white boxes?
I have actually used one of those, oddly enough, and it was for jewelry photography. I'm trying. It can be useful, I would say. What I ended up doing with it though was I ended up shooting wide. So the box that we had was quite small, because obviously she had bought it for jewelry. So I ended up shooting quite wide, and I had to edit the white around it. So I suppose, I mean, the lighting's not bad. It definitely works. It gives that soft, even lighting. So I mean, if you're doing it at home, it could definitely be a worthwhile investment. I'd say that just to make sure you get one that's going to be big enough to give you enough space around the product when you're taking the photo.
Anyway, if you want to wrap it up, so because I'm so scared again, maybe just tell us a little bit more about what you offer and how people can find you. I actually can't even remember the last point we were even talking. Oh, we were talking about the light boxes and the light box if you need to buy.
Yeah, no, so the light boxes, as long as it's big enough for your your product, because I do find they can be quite small, and then you would have to do some editing to get the full effect of the light box.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they can be good.
And any like flash or extra lighting. So like the ring lights are quite helpful for like videos of yourself, yes, of course. But for product photography, how do you feel with the ring lights?
You can, again, it depends on how big your product is, because I find with the ring lights, they work better with a smaller product, because you need to get them fairly close to get the lighting. And again, I'm doing this because we want even lighting, so you probably wouldn't get away with one. You would want to at least have two to even out the lighting. But you could use a ring light if you're doing sort of a small kind of flat lay setup. Otherwise, if you are doing it indoors, if you intend on doing your own photography a lot indoors, it would be worthwhile investing in a light with a softbox to sort of get the lighting right. And then again, sort of from even it out. So you'd probably want to look at getting at least two if you are going to get a light, or a good reflector to reflect the light back to even them out. But yeah, lighting can be expensive. Oh,
they're quite inexpensive if you are going to be taking your photos.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, it's I think it was mistiming.
Sorry guys. Okay, it's a little bit of a mess today. But anyway, Kim, do you want to tell us how people can find you, how they can contact you if they want to know more about what your services are?
Sure. Well, most people actually reach out to me on Instagram these days, just in the DMs. I'm pretty good at like checking my request section and replying to messages in DMs. Otherwise, there's my website, bykimfisher.com. You can even access my email through Instagram, so it's easy enough. Yeah, and then we'd I suppose take from there, discuss everyone has different needs, and like what they're wanting shot, how long it's going to take, how much it's going to involve, because I do help out, like I was speaking earlier about the color palettes and coming up with the concepts for the photo shoot. So it depends if someone just needs me purely there as a photographer, or do they need someone to sort of help throughout the whole process, and we can sort of get that discussion going through the DMs or email. Yeah.
I think that'll be really helpful with planning out a shoot and stuff, just to understand and know everything that's involved with product shoots. Have any exciting product launches happening, or what you're working on at the moment?
Nothing right now. I'm sort of like wrapping up the month, heading into December. So I always have December, January is like my holiday time, so I won't be doing anything then. So sort of wrapping everything up. And then next year, when I start up again in Feb, I'll probably be looking at offering sort of very short and quick content creation sessions. So it'd be you and your product come in, you get some headshots, you get some product shots. So very like quick in and out, not a whole big production, just something simple for if you need to spruce up your website, or just some Instagram content, that sort of thing. So that I'll be launching in the new year.
That sounds cool. Definitely keep an eye on that. I think it's always worth a product-based business investing in a little bit of photography, especially when they need to use their images for their website. I find that a lot of websites, it comes across blurry or just pixelated. So yeah, do you have any tips around taking photos at home for website use?
Yeah, well, for websites, I always say, like, for social media, you can absolutely get away with your phone. You don't need the professional photos for social media. But for websites, one area that I do recommend the professional photo, just purely because if it's a product, people are going to need to zoom in and see the detail, and you can't get that level of detail with the tiny little sensor in your phone's camera compared to a digital camera. So that's the one time I would say that using it, I mean, even if someone were to go and buy their own crop sensor, you definitely get a whole lot more use out of that, and that would be way far away.
Yep, that sounds good. So Em has just said she needs a quick session, so definitely DM Kim and she'll help you out with that and let you know when it's launching in the new year. But yeah, I can see we kind of breaking up. So Kim, I'm going to say thanks so much for joining me, and I'm sorry that we had to do this 3 times over.
Oh,
Maybe
no,
next month when I get a new phone we can.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
Okay, well, everyone reach out to Kim if you're looking to do some product photography or just need some more tips. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll chat to you guys soon. Bye.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.